Ha What's
Hey
up?
girl, what's going on? I'm Brianna Rashay. We have Kevin Bryant here. We're waiting on Brenda to join us, and I'm super excited about this one. I did watch the interview that you did with her on Monday, and we had some technical difficulties due to the weather,
Right.
but I mean, wow, just like listening to her artistry, listening to her music, she's amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's so funny
wow.
because yeah, um, I got the chance to work with her in the O4W band, who's
Mhm.
put together by Kyrie Simmons, and it was just fun working with her. But to hear her stuff, the first time I heard, I was like, "Who is that?" And
Mhm.
I just didn't know her. And then she's so nice and she's so cool. So, but Monday was funny, right? They
Mhm.
just literally, like she was saying, she was having problems, and all of a sudden, like we could hear her, we couldn't hear her. Then the lights just went out completely. Like I was shocked, but hey,
Yeah,
and
my lights
look,
did the same
look,
thing.
look,
Hi.
look.
Hey.
Hey, Brenda.
Hi, how are you?
So, Brenda, I'm going to introduce another host that's part of Heat Seekers, Brianna Rashay. And so
Hi.
this is her day, New Music Day. Wednesday is her day, but she was so kind to let me come on and talk with you as well because of
Oh,
what
thank
happened.
you.
Yeah, what happened on Monday. So I'm gonna come in and out,
No rain.
huh?
There's no rain today.
Yeah, no rain today.
Yes.
It's funny. There's a couple of things I want to talk about, but I want Brianna to go ahead and start, and and we can kind of bounce off because you got to go back to the beginning because Brianna looked at your stuff and she loved it. So
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so I did catch a little bit of Kevin's interview with you, and I know Kevin said that you give him Sade vibes, but the funny thing about it is I have been like listening. I've been in an Anne-Marie mood. Like I've been listening to her music so much, and you literally look like her. Your sound isn't like hers, but her sound is unique and your sound is unique. So you really remind me of her. The music is beautiful.
Thank
It's really needed right now, and it feels like when you listen to it, it literally just heals your soul, and it's something that you can just listen to on repeat or just listen to all your songs like back to back to back, and it's just so light, airy, and it's feel good music. It's just so beautiful.
you.
I love it. I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much. I'm
I
like,
love it. Even the videos, the concepts of the videos, the outfit, the makeup, the hair, it just goes. Like if I were to picture your videos in my head, that's what it would be.
that's
So I
awesome.
just
Thank
think
you.
your artistry is just beautiful. It's
I
you know,
really
gorgeous.
appreciate that.
and it's
Yes.
funny. She does a lot of that. She's also I'm giving him a sidebar. She's a photographer too. So probably some of those pictures she took herself.
Some of them I did. Some of
Wow.
them I did. I did do the creative direction for the music video for Find Your Way.
Okay.
But I got a team of Black female creatives. It's 4 Black women. We all got together. The hairstylist, Soraya Monet, the makeup stylist, Dave Bird, and the director, Amber Burnett. And so it's just really excited to work with an all female group on a video. So
Mhm.
we're proud of it. I'm glad you like
Yes. You should
it.
be. I mean, it's just so beautiful and it's so amazing. And it's so important to have a good team who understands. And I know you
Yeah.
had a vision, for what you wanted it to be. And I think it's just
Hmm.
amazing. It's so beautiful. So with that song, I just kind of want to get into that since that's like kind of on the top of my brain right now.
Hmm.
Find Your Way, it's like it starts off with the up tempo, then it goes into like a slower tempo, and then it goes back into that up tempo. Like what kind of gave you the inspiration to set the tone of the song that way? And Find Your Way, I'm guessing it's saying like you will find your way through life, like just it'll be,
Yeah,
everything will fall into place.
that's exactly what it is. We so the song starts kind of like you say upbeat. I say it's like kind of chaotic. It's like a
Yes.
this rhythm that's doing like a lot of stuff. The
Hmm.
way that I write is always very visual. So to me, I kind of just pictured if I could have done the video this way, I would have. I'll go back to like alter how why I had to alter my vision for it, but it worked out anyway. But what I was imagining when I was writing the song was just kind of just running through the forest, being lost, or running through the world. There's this like energy where this it's not settled. The rhythm and the beat are all kind of like, it feels like angsty. And so I wanted the song to start that way because it needed to get to a place where it opened up for peace. Um, so the song starts that way, and then it goes into um, show me the way, or help me find the way, help me find the way, are the words. And so it could be, someone asking God, or the universe for guidance, which is how I was thinking of it when I was writing it. But it could also be asking your inner self, like focusing in on trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do, what is my purpose, and all of that. So the whole song in general is about figuring out your way in life, and just knowing that it's okay to have ups and downs. It's okay to be lost. So in the sound, I try to play a lot with the dynamics of angsty and peace, or like a lot of stuff going on in moments of break, so that because that's what it feels like. Sometimes life is like, and sometimes it's just like this. And it's okay that both of those things exist. Um, because as long as you are, I think, focused in what you're doing and your heart is good, you're going to find your way. So the song is just saying, rest assured, you'll find your way. Rest assured.
That's
You
beautiful.
sound like some anthemic type thing going on. I think it's interesting too, Brianna, that she just being in Atlanta, like I always call it, there's groups of artists that come in a certain time period, right? And then like Brenda is one of the ones that was like, I think, two time periods after me. Because I was with the India and Donnie and all of us, Avery, Sunshine, all of us started out, Anthony David. And then there was this other little section, and then this section. And I think the section that you're in now reminds me more of us than any other, to me, because it just feels so authentic. And
Yeah.
I love what you do. And I was telling her about the first time I saw you, and I was like, it was like an enchanted type feeling. You captured me so, and I was like, who is that? And somebody else told me yesterday, they said, her voice, she's hypnotizing. So I'm like, and right. I mean, and when you get hypnotized, male and females, that means you got something that, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, it sounds very haunting and very, like, just almost like a possession or something. When you
Yeah,
do
it's
the thing.
captivating. Like, and
Yeah,
especially the way that
Yeah.
you structured that song, like how you said it's chaotic, then it goes slow. Like, that's what brought me in, because I heard the chaos and then I heard it slow down. And I was like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. Like, this song has layers, it has layers to it. And I
Yeah,
think that's beautiful. We don't see that. We don't get that now.
yeah, we
yeah,
tried to not, there's a good word, tried not to be afraid of the layers, and not trying to think. I mean, we very much could just write a very commercial pop or straight R&B record, but in this we really wanted to just explore sound and textures, and not thinking about genres per se, but exploring jazz and pushing it to see how far it can go, and incorporating folk and soul into it, and all the things that I kind of love. And yeah, Ward was not afraid to play with the layers of the music.
right.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of layers in there.
you know, Also too, tell us, Brenda, how significant this was for you, this project, because we at Heat Seekers, we talk to a lot of artists, up and coming artists. We talk to, artists already there, everything. We talk about how difficult it is in the industry right now. And you did something very unique. But not, it wasn't that it was nobody else did it, but I just love the way you did it, because you did some crowdsource funding to do this project finally. And I remember when you texted me and you said, I finally quit my job. You did all of that and you just went for it. I mean, can you tell us about that process? Because a lot of artists need to hear how you did that.
Yeah.
Could she hear us?
How I got the funding, you were kind of going in and out.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you were
you did crowdsource funding, and I remember when you like stopped your job to follow your dreams. And I wanted you to explain to everybody how that process was. Oh no, not today.
Yes. It seems like she's breaking up a little.
Yeah, I wonder if it's her
oh
connection.
no.
Oh, someone.
Is it my internet? I don't
Yeah.
know. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I
Well,
can
Brianna.
switch to a
Yeah,
different
just check that.
internet.
Brianna, they're getting Mr. Bernstein said, I love Brenda Nicole Moore's energy. Also, congratulations on your 21. Okay, so while she's getting that together, I will say this. Y'all, I have been nominated for Most Daring with the BB Awards, and it is such an honor.
Congratulations.
And hey, it's crazy, right? I didn't even know. And I love what he's doing. And I actually wanted to have him on one day,
Mhm.
but I didn't want to do that because I just want to wait and see what happens. Whether I win or not, I'm still gonna have him on, but I don't want to have
Yeah.
him on and then it looks like, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I wanted to talk to Mr. Bernstein about that. But thank you, and I'm glad that he loves Brenda. There's a lot of little things out there in social media that we should pay attention to that I think is really like, pushing people, motivating people because with this pandemic and everything, we're becoming way more creative, way
Yeah.
more creative. But
Hmm.
it's just most daring. You think I'm most daring?
Yeah, and especially in your artistry, I definitely think that's a award that you deserve. So
Thank you. Yeah.
definitely, hopefully, we gonna hope that you win it. I'm sure you will because, like I
Yeah,
said,
it's
just
been
looking
looking
at your artistry and how you were as an artist and how you continue to be just in your work. I would definitely say most daring. Even the artists that you work with, you try to put them outside the box too. So I think that's awesome.
yeah, thank you. It was very shocking to me. I was like, wow, who did this? How did he do? And he said, no, your friends nominated you. People nominated you. I was like, okay.
Right. We gonna roll with it, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna and I do want to have him on. So because I want to understand how he came up with this, how the people respond to it. I think it's a great thing. I think we should celebrate each other all the time anyway. So the fact that he even did this, y'all check it out, the BB Award, the 2021 BB Awards on Facebook. Check out the page and vote for me. But yeah, check him out. Yeah, Mr. Bernstein.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so yeah. So what's new in your world, Bree?
um
Stuff that you can talk
nothing,
about.
nothing much.
It's always
I
something.
I would just say you kind of have to keep busy within your own goals and things that you want to do because it's a lot of things going on right now and times are so uncertain, if that
Mm,
makes sense. So you know that's not like a good way to go about your days. It's
right,
uncertain. So
right,
I just tell people to fill their days with things that, will keep them busy, things that they've always wanted to do, goals, maybe a business venture, or just, a book or just something. Keep them busy and having something of your own to look forward to. So
right,
that's kind of what I'm doing just in the midst of, everything else that's going on. Just trying to stay busy within my own headspace. And of course, heat seekers, I always enjoy doing these interviews with artists every week and just kind of trying to keep busy. Like I said, keep
right,
busy, keep healthy.
right. Exactly. Now the healthy part, that's one thing. But
Hmm.
a lot of artists, they look at the platforms and stuff like that. If you guys want to be considered to be interviewed, please reach out to us at heatseekersint@gmail. And here's Blue. Hey,
Huh.
that was different.
I'm back. Okay.
Okay, so
According to my last.
let me re-ask the question. So, you did something really, really unique. I was very proud of it. You decided to stop your job that you was working and follow your dreams. I remember when you said, he's like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go out there and follow my dreams. And then you came up with this crowdsourced funding because you were going to work on your project. If you could explain to us how that process was, because a lot of artists, you need to understand how important it is to, really do this on your own. So,
Yeah. First of all, leaving my day job was scary. Like, I mean, it took me 2 years. I could have left 2 years before I actually did, but I was just scared to just take the jump and commit the time to do it. So getting over that was like the first part. And then I fully really believe that music is collaborative and that it depends just as much on the community as the artist does. Like it's a beneficial mutual relationship. So to me, crowdfunding is like necessary. I mean, if there's not a label that's paying for something, let me try to get this right. If there's not a label that's
there
paying
you
for
go.
something, it's necessary to get the support of the community because they're the ones that are going to be coming to the show. They're the ones that are, buying the CD and listening to the music. And just the way in which music is set up now, the business of music, um, getting funding from different sources outside of labels is possible, but a lot of artists don't know about it. So what I did was my other background is being in a nonprofit. So what I did was I made all of my donations fiscally sponsored, which means I kind of like made my project be nonprofit, but not really. Like I get all the benefits of being a nonprofit without being a nonprofit. So so everyone who donated to the production of Marrow got a tax deduction. So if you donated $200, you could write off, I think, something like $180 of that or something like that. And so what it does is make it beneficial for the um, the person that's listening to the music, but also allows me to be able to get funding for my project. Sorry, I'm holding the
What's
laptop.
going on?
But I was able to get the same way a nonprofit will get dollar for dollar matching. I was able to raise a certain amount and then get an organization to match me dollar for dollar. So I raised 7,500. They gave me 7,500. Um, and that was, like I said, tax deductible for all of those people who donated. And on top of that, they get the CD and different benefits based off, what level they gave that. I think it's very similar to regular crowdfunding, except that you can tap into all the other funding resources that are out there, like grants. Where I think the majority of artists are starting to see more of it now because of COVID. We're starting to see more grants for artists and stuff. The thing is, those already existed. They've been out there. We just didn't know to go look for them unless you happen to work in nonprofits or know how that world works. But there's hundreds of thousands, actually millions of dollars that go to artists just to go create whatever you want. And so that's how I got this project funded.
Wow.
Never
Wow.
knew that.
A
Yeah.
lot of
I
artists
mean,
need to know that.
it's a business. When you think of it like a business, you're not thinking of it like nonprofit. Like there should be a support for it. Like if you go to the museum, you make a donation because they need your support to continue. I kind of feel like music is the same way. If you're an indie artist, for me to produce music, I need my fans to support. So why not make that support tax deductible and make it mutually beneficial on top of you being able to get the music? The model is not new. It's just not a popular thing to do. A lot of people in classical music do this.
Mm,
And a lot of people in like very traditional jazz do this. Doors do
wow.
grants and foundations, $50,000 grants, $100,000 grants for you to go produce your art.
Wow.
So are the stipulations and requirements difficult? Because I didn't even know this.
No, but it is like very. I mean, it takes more work than just getting money and then like going to spend it. Like there is time and planning. You have to have a detailed budget. The money that you say you're going to use it for has to be used for what you're going to say you use it for. You can't mismanage funds by like if I raise 20,000, I decide to keep 10,000 for myself. That's not a thing. You can't do that. But there are some grants that allow for things like that. There's a grant up right now for what is it? I think it is one of the Doris Duke grants or something. But you get $50,000, and a portion of it goes to supporting just artists living. And this is a thing that has existed pre-COVID. Like this is not a new thing.
Wow.
So you said you don't have to necessarily be a nonprofit. Do you have to have a LLC, or like what is it that you have to have if you don't have to have a nonprofit?
You have to have the support of another nonprofit. It's called being fiscally sponsored. So another legit nonprofit has to be like, I support this person's project and what they're doing, and we are going to act as their fiscal sponsor and allow them to get the benefits of being able to fundraise as a nonprofit and that kind of thing without actually being a nonprofit. It's a lot of times like new arts organizations will start off this way. Is usually what it's used for. But there's a company out of New York called Fractured Atlas, and they've fiscally sponsored thousands of artists from dance to
That company again?
Fractured Atlas.
Fractured Atlas. Wow.
That's a company that I went through. But there's companies here in Atlanta, P4 Atlanta. That's the biggest one. But they will, if you go to them, you're like, hey, I have this project. I'm trying to fundraise. I want to be fiscally sponsored. They will take you on and allow you to do that. And then you can fundraise in a way that a nonprofit would.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is good to know, Brenda. I'm glad that you even found that and you were able to do that. Right, Bree? Because a lot of artists come to us and, it's the typical thing. Like, a lot of artists just want to put stuff out.
Yeah.
And they don't realize how much it takes and what it takes. Yeah, you can go in and record something on a computer and all that stuff, but that's not the end of it. That's barely the beginning.
Right.
So
yeah,
I also feel like jazz music, music like what you make, and just more soulful music doesn't really. It's not mainstream. I mean, just to be honest, unless it's like a Beyonce or something. So it's like you need that extra help to push your music out if that's really what you want to do, because it's needed. Like I said, that type of music can be healing. It can be soothing. It can take away anxiety. It's really healing music, I feel, and I think it's needed. So that's awesome that you found that. That you can support your music through that.
Yeah.
I wish other artists, would go on and do that for themselves too, because even if you were making pop or R&B or any other, you could do the same thing. It's just about knowing how to do it.
Knowing how to do it. Yeah. Right. So you capitalized on that. It's funny. Another thing that's good, Brenda, is also, for these artists out there, y'all, have a good attitude. And I will say this because Brenda knows me. I'm gonna bring up something. She always keeps everything calm. Like, stuff can get riled up because artists are temperamental. We have, we all have our thing. So something that Brenda does, just from knowing her and being able to sing with you and perform with you sometimes, she has a way of keeping everything, she's the one that keeps everything cool, and everybody loves Brenda. So it's like, okay, so it's because you've calmed me down several times. So without telling too much, but I mean, you have to have a good attitude, and I think you have a great attitude towards what you're trying to do. And she's been on Capital Jazz Fest cruise. She's on all the festivals. I mean, talk about that because a lot of artists don't even get to do that. Like, how did you even get to do all that? Because you were working up some stuff last year.
I had some really great opportunities come along. I think it's the thing where they say like longevity wins or longevity wins the race or whatever. Like if you just stay in it long enough, more and more stuff will come because you have built more and more relationships. More and more people know you, and so more and more opportunities will just come as you go along. But I've been able to through all of my musician network here in Atlanta accomplished a lot of things, like being able to open for Incognito. I did Capital Jazz Fest, Atlanta Jazz Fest. I was supposed to play main stage Atlanta Jazz Fest this year, but it was canceled. But I will do it next year when it's rescheduled. Um, and yeah, I'm just super grateful for all of the opportunities. I've gotten to sing with Roy Ayers, and that's through musicians based here in Atlanta. I love our music community. Like everyone is so loving and open, and there's not I personally not experienced a lot of like um, backstabbing, trying to hold other people down, that kind of thing. Most times, if you need something in the music community, people show up and will help. And
Mm.
so I have to really credit like I could also just be in a circle of awesome musicians too, but they have really allowed me to blossom because I've been doing this since right out of high school, and
Yeah.
so I have been, I sung, started off singing background for lots of different people. At the same time that like Algebra Blessed and Anthony David and all of them were like on the scene and doing, I mean, they're still on the scene doing amazing things, but I mean, like just coming out, I was singing background in the capacity for different artists and have, just been around. So I've just, been able to cultivate a lot of relationships over the years that then allow you to do other things. It's like the people in your network and people who you know is how most things
Say
happen.
it again. Yeah.
And
And
then
also, Brenda, oh, you can go ahead.
I was going to say, my dad, because when I was younger, before I graduated high school, I was still doing music professionally at from 14 to 16. I was in Dave Hollister's girl group with Mia. And that gave me like a really good sense of like what the music industry is like because we were like opening for Ludacris, touring with Busta Rhymes and Maya. And I'm like 15, 16 doing these things. So I had like a really good understanding of what the music business was like. But one thing my dad and Dave Hollister ingrained in me from the beginning is never burn bridges. Never.
Mm.
Like there's always a way to work something out. The music business is extremely small, like way, way smaller than you think it is. Just whatever your problem is, work it out. Never burn bridges. And so that's to like how also my disposition is just kind of calm and peaceful. But also that's always in my mind, like just to like never do that because
Right.
you never know when that person you may need that person or that person may need you and
That's
these
why you're on
relationships are
here.
super important.
That's why you on here. Just to let the world, because you don't
Yeah,
burn bridges.
that's so important. And like you said, some artists they come on the scene and they're pretty new and they sometimes feel like they know everything and then they get this attitude and you definitely have to stay humble and just keep those relationships alive. And I know you said you started off early with your father, but how would you say you're networking? How were you able to network? Because I think we hear network, but some people don't necessarily know or have the tools to know how to really cultivate those relationships.
Yeah, I think it varies depending on what you're doing. I think as a vocalist, networking and like going out to jam sessions where musicians are, making friends with musicians, knowing who the musicians in town are, because those are the people that you're eventually going to be playing with and
Mm-hmm.
who you're going to be building with. So going out to jam sessions, going to other people's concerts, um, just going to events and being around, especially like whenever a friend has a project or something come out, like listen to that project and help, like even if you just like share it one time, that is networking because
Right.
Wow.
you are in the sense that you're doing something that they're seeing that they're going to remember that you did, no matter how small it was. I
Yeah.
think that art, if you're an indie artist, you pay attention and you see those things. Um, Going to New York for a while was definitely very beneficial. I spent about a year and a half there, so meeting new musicians there, and learning about the venues and stuff there, and yeah, just making friends. Really, it's just making friends. That's all. It's go out and make friends the same way you would. I mean, that for some artists, it can be easier said than done because not everyone is a social, outward, extrovert person. But I think there is some amount that is necessary. It's just if you're an indie artist, it's going to be necessary for you to find the inner extrovert side of you and go out and talk to people and make friends because that is how your network is going to build, and then your friend is going to have an event and be like, "Oh, I'm going to this thing. Do you want to come with me?" Or that kind of thing happens. Or, "Oh, such and such is in town. Why don't you come to dinner with us?"
Right.
So, and it just goes from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
At least that's what
So, yes. So I know you said the Atlanta community has kind of really helped you along in your career and really gave you that push that you need. But I see you have a daughter whose name is River, and I'm pretty
works.
sure just watching you, you have two daughters.
Yeah.
Well,
Beautiful.
River is the one that I've seen singing on your page and
River.
playing the piano and everything like that. So, like, was that something that she said, Mommy, I want to learn how to do this? Or how did that start?
I've tried not to push them at all into
Okay.
doing anything artistic. They both just do it naturally. The older one draws. She also sings, but she's a really good singer, excellent writer, like very
Wow.
good like understanding of rhythm and melody. But she does not do it on her own. Like she'll do it on her own when she wants to. But
Mhm.
River, my oldest one, I don't. She would be in her room at 1 o'clock in the morning. We put a Wurlitzer keyboard in her room and a guitar. She's in there writing and singing. If she gets in trouble for something, she's in her room writing sad songs about no one listens to me. My parents don't let me, no one listens. I'm telling you, she's just super emotional and just like always writing. She's just that's just in her. And I think
Wow.
in a musical household, this helps to cultivate that. So what I do is just try to give her the tools. So when she wants to learn some stuff on the piano, we'll sit down and teach her. 'Cause my partner is a piano teacher. He's a musician, but he also teaches piano. But we
Wow.
don't force her to do it. She just kind of does it on her own.
I've seen
Wow.
her like in rehearsals. When we had rehearsals before, and sometimes you would bring them, and she's singing in the background with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen her. So she's definitely gonna be Brenda Nicole Mora. Mora.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
actually Mora.
Yeah, I give her, I would say probably 4, 5 more years. She's going to be probably ready to do. I mean, if she wanted to release some songs right now, I'm telling you, she could do it. Like she's ready.
Mhm.
But there's the other part of it. Like you can have all the talent in the world, but if you are not emotionally or mentally ready to do it, like you have anxiety, you're too scared to do it, or I don't know, you have doubts and stuff like that. There's no amount of pushing you that can do it. So
Yeah.
she will sing in her room and write all these beautiful songs. But if I ask her to sing in front of someone, she's like, doesn't really want to do it. But it's funny because right now she's in a show at Alliance. She's the voice of Pearl Clegg's new character in a play called Sit In, but
Wow.
they're turning it into a cartoon, so she doesn't have to be on stage.
Okay, but that's good because you used to. Speaking of Alliance, you used to work for Kenny Leon, correct?
Yeah, for
Wow. You had
several
a
years.
lot of jobs.
Yeah, I've even when I wasn't in music, I was always in the arts, in theater or film or music. That's been my entire. I've literally never done anything else. Music, theater, film. That's all. So I figured out that goes back to networking too. When I was in college for my bachelor's, I had a lot of friends go for drama or dance or music. I I don't know. I felt like I was already singing. I was already out in Atlanta doing stuff. And I wanted to understand more of the business side of how to do
Mhm.
things. And so I kept changing my major or whatever. So I ended up majoring in marketing. And that has
Hmm.
helped me so much. And
Wow.
then when I graduated, it was like the recession of 2008. I could not find a job. There was nothing. And so I decided to go back to school and I got a master's in arts management. And I did that
Hold up.
because,
In artist management,
yeah, arts management. So like,
oh, arts management. I get
yeah.
you. Okay.
So I did that because I knew that if I wasn't going to be able to support myself singing full time, I still wanted to be in the arts. So then that allowed me to be able to work for theater companies. And that's how I was able to move to New York because I worked for New York Philharmonic there. And that also helped cultivate relationships that even outside of my job was able to help me musically. Like working for Kenny Leon, they would let me sing at open nights of plays. And so
Oh,
that I met Camille Love, who's the arts and culture director for City of Atlanta. Um, she oversees Atlanta Jazz Festival and arts and culture funding here. So through that, I was able to gain an ally, and that's like networking. That's something that would have happened on its own, but it was just easier to happen the way that it did. So I also believe that every job that you have that's not music related or not arts related is extremely important to your growth. Like it's use whatever it is you have in that day job to help you get to being able to sustain as a full-time artist because there's something
Mhm.
there. There's a reason that you're there.
have you ever done any acting? Because right now you're giving me Gabrielle Union. I
That's
just, I
funny.
just imagine that.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, have you ever heard that before?
Yes. I actually from her.
I thought so. Yeah, because you look so Gabrielle Union, and I'm like, y'all get to see all my apps on TV, but you look so Gabrielle Union.
Yeah,
So have
it
you
really
ever?
goes, I think.
It's there.
But,
I was too. Have
yeah,
you been acting?
I was standing in on Being Mary Jane, the TV show. So
I,
that's I got to meet her, and that was in the beginning of me like getting into film, was doing stand-in work because I had done theater all my life before then. So
what,
I did do
what, did she,
film.
what did she say? Did she come up to you and be like, "Girl, you look like me"? Like what?
She did. She came up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous. You kind of look like me." It's like,
So she was talking about herself. She was talking about herself. If I see somebody look like me, I'd be like, "Damn, you handsome." That's funny. I thought, well, hey, I love Gabrielle Union anyway, by the way. And y'all got the same smile, everything. I know y'all get mixed up. Don't you see it, Bree? Bree
Yep.
get mad at me because I tell her she look like Issa Rae, but she don't.
I can see that.
I know, but she just won't take it. But anyway, I'm just a man. Y'all talk.
I mean, I've gotten Issa Rae before, but I don't know. It is what it is.
You see that, right? I got an Issa Rae before, but see, Issa Rae, Gabrielle Union. Thank y'all for my interview today. So, Gabby, so what you got coming up next? Since y'all don't want, No, I'm just joking. Go ahead, Bree.
So just through your career, what would you say is something that you would tell yourself starting out, that you kind of learned throughout the time that you was unsure of when you were younger?
Um, I think a lot of things. I think the main thing is like to get over the fear. Like, don't be afraid to step out and do it all the way.
Mhm.
There's always these thoughts that, oh, you're not good enough, or people are not gonna like my music. I would have told myself there's an audience for everything, and if you hone in on what it is that you're doing, there's always a way to figure it out. Because I could have been doing a full time artist a long time ago, but just didn't because I was scared. Um,
Mhm.
I would also, I don't know, just tell myself more about how to. I've learned a lot along the way, so I don't know if there's stuff I would have known then if I wanted to, but just about like booking shows and um, that kind of thing, like the business side of it, like how to send an email that get pressed, that kind of stuff. I
Yeah,
would have maybe told myself some of those things. But I learned them along the way. So,
that's
uh,
good.
but
That's good.
the main thing is, yeah, not to be afraid, and to know that whatever it is you have is uniquely yours, and that you have it for a reason. And so you need to honor it and do it. I feel like if God gives you a gift and you don't honor it, it's not a
Right.
good thing. So no matter how it is that you're honoring that gift, doesn't mean you have to be out in front of people. There could be another way that you're honoring your gift. So
You know what I love about you too as an artist? Um, you take on challenges. Like you could get a song from our experience, and it's not you really, but you go and you take the song and you make it Brenda. Like you literally go and you attack that song and you do it, and it's your way, and I just love it. Like Brianna, I wish Kobe wasn't going on because I wish you could see us. I love when she sings like PYT, and I love when you sing. Like I love when you sing Prince, and I just love all that. Diana Ross, which I always call her Diana Ross. Is it upside down? You turn me. I love all of that. So I just love the fact that you take on those challenges, and artists need to understand that as well. Because a lot of artists are like that ain't me. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing this. When you should realize that you are capable of doing it. You
yeah,
know. So that's
absolutely.
what I would say.
I've learned, like, in being a full time artist, that part of it is like taking the working musicians gigs, which are the like corporate band gigs and stuff like that. Those are so much fun because they push you. They like you said, it's a challenge. It's stuff that you wouldn't do on your own. If all you did was sing your own music all the time, you wouldn't know what you can and can't do. You
Mhm.
just be comfortable doing your own thing, which is fine, but it's so much more fun to me to to try something that you never thought you would have tried before.
That's what's up.
One thing about listening to your song "Find Your Way," I literally could just hear so many different um, artists in you, and I love. Okay, so my favorite movie is "What's Love Got to Do with It," and I love it because you literally hear the singers back in the day, which it's like they just had it. They didn't need any auto tune. They didn't need anything. They were just so talented, and I hear that in you, and that makes me wonder, like, who are some of your
Hmm.
musical influences?
hmm Um, so many. I would say Minnie Riperton for sure. She influences me so much. Everything from jazz like Nancy Wilson, Billie Holiday
Mm.
to Amel LaRue. Um, so many artists. I love India.Arie. I love I even love Beyonce. Like I think I pull and draw from everything, but I think the the artist growing up that like really spoke out to me were Minnie Riperton, The Emotions,
Mhm.
um, and the Mel LaRue, and Billie Holiday, Nancy Wilson. I think, and also there's a period of time where I went through like doing like more folk alternative songs, and
Mm,
that was like my Alanis Morissette, Ani DiFranco,
that
Faith.
was me too.
Yeah,
Yep.
but they
Yep.
are the ones that encouraged me through their music to learn to play guitar and learn to write my own songs. And I think that is still present in my music today.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think it's a great mix between now and back in the day, and it gives me that homey feeling, like I'm listening to old school music, but it also gives me like a new vibe as well. So I love that you bring that to the table.
Thank
So
you.
did you have any more questions, Kev?
Well, I just wanted to say, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say thank you. Thank you, Brianna, first of all, for letting me squeeze in on your Wednesday.
Of course.
It
Of
was
course.
unfortunate what happened to us, but I'm glad we got to talk to Brenda again because everybody I talked to, I got so many messages afterwards. Oh my God, I love her. I saw her, I went to her YouTube and I was like, I wonder if she know this because
Mhm.
everyone loves Brenda Nicole Moore. So
That means
Yes.
so much to me. It really does. Like, I mean, you spend all this time making this music, you put it out into the world, and you hope that people like it. When I tell you that I still have to like convince myself that I need to put it out, I'm still like talking through my own like doubts. You know what I mean? I think
mm.
Mhm.
all of us do, all artists do. But to know that people are liking it and receiving it and just
Love
doing,
your video too.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Love that video. Yeah.
Yeah, the meaning of the song, the visual, just the vibes that it gives is like I said, it's healing and it's so beautiful. And I'm thanking you for sharing that with the world because we need music like that, especially with us dealing with so many artists all the time. It's so refreshing to finally have someone that is like, oh wow, like she's very talented. This is beautiful music and it's great. It's meaningful and it's amazing.
I smell a Grammy.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
I
so
smell a
good.
Grammy. Yeah.
It's so
Speak
good.
it, Kevin. Come
It's
on.
good. Kevin said it. You know, when Kevin says it, it happens. Trust me, I smell a Grammy.
It's
Smell
so
We
a
put
good.
a lot of work into it. I will say, going into it, when we were in the studio recording, we were hoping not. We don't even have to win. We would just hope for
nomination. Yeah.
A nomination.
that would be.
Nomination is just as good, just as great.
It really is like that would be the greatest.
I just got one request. Don't
What?
change, because you know I'll get you. Because you know a lot of our fellow Atlanta artists, they change when they get Grammys and stuff. Mm.
No.
I said that too. That's another show. I ain't gonna bash nobody. But you know I know. So just don't do
Yeah.
that. Stay Brenda.
Yeah,
I will.
I even love that you had a visual to the whole production of Find Your Way. I think that's beautiful, and I think people who love your music appreciate that, if that makes sense. So nothing that you've released, nothing that you have put out has been in vain. It's amazing, and it needs to be heard. And is there anything that you're projecting in the future or working on that we should be looking out for?
Yeah. I'm in a movie coming out, so that comes out December 25th.
Wait
Um,
a minute. What? Wait. Say it again.
I'm in Respect, the Aretha
Oh
Franklin.
yeah, I knew that. I knew that.
Oh,
I knew that.
wow!
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
knew that. I knew they pushed the date back on that.
Push the date.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Like,
that's coming out. The album comes out August 7th. Um, I hope people listen to it, download it. The best way, if you want to support, is through Bandcamp because the fees that you pay for the album go directly to the artist.
oh wow.
Spotify, you get like I think like 0.001%. Like not, we don't even get a full penny first.
You don't even get a full penny, and people don't know it.
I do appreciate the spins. Play the spins.
Yeah, but these artists need to know how you split a penny. I was so shocked. What? I gotta split a penny? How do you split a penny?
Yeah, I think you have to do something like I think it was 100,000 plays to make $1,000 or something like that.
It's a little, yeah. I think that's about right.
Yeah,
I think it's 100,000 to make,
yeah.
to probably make $100.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, but thank you, Brenda, for me. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate this a lot. Just that y'all want to talk to me at all. I appreciate it.
No, we do have to get
the music.
Yes, we appreciate your music. It's much needed. But my part, I'm gonna just shout out all the heat seekers. Thank you so much. NY Lady J, DJ Red Dread, of course, Brianna Rashay, Jay Morris, Mantel Soul, In the House Media, Kingsbread. We are here. And bring. It's your show, Bree. It's your show. You gotta close out.
Well, hey, you shouting everybody out. I thought you was gonna keep going.
Oh no, I was just okay. See, that's why you can't see the show.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Brenda, again, thank you so much from the Heat Seekers. We appreciate you for being here a second time. Guys, if you want to be on the show, make sure you email us at heatseekersint.com. We'll get back with you, and hopefully you can be on the show soon. We love you guys so much. You guys make sure you're following us on Instagram at heatseekersint. Follow Brenda on Instagram. What's your Instagram, Brenda?
It's Brenda Nicole Moore, at Brenda Nicole Moore.
At Brenda Nicole Moore, guys. So you all be safe, be blessed, and we will see you guys Friday.